Light versus heavy weights, building muscle after 60 and why it matters. The battered leather lifting belt sitting in your gym bag is secretly destroying your physique. You strap it on, stubborn as a mule, convinced that the debate over light versus heavy weights just means trying harder. Building muscle after 60 doesn't work that way. The real motivation keeping that bar impossibly heavy has absolutely nothing to do with physical adaptation. It feeds a quiet desperation we'll expose a little later on. Tell me where you're watching from in the comments right now. If you're new here, stay with me. This channel is for you. When women notice a truly capable, muscular man in his late 60s, we see someone moving entirely pain-free. He built that density by manipulating a biological trigger you are currently ignoring. Here is exactly how that heavy iron betrays you. Number 1, the heavy weight trap at 60. Most guys your age simply stop growing. In a poll of men in this community, 51 of 61 could name 2 or fewer men their own age still in real shape. It is incredibly rare. You already have the discipline. You show up. You put in the sweat while your peers sit on the couch. But raw effort does not guarantee a return on investment if the biological math is wrong. The heavyweight trap ruins disciplined men. You load up the bar, you grip the cold knurling, chalk dust heavy in the air, and grind out a massive lift. The sound of plates rattling masks a deeper problem. Your central nervous system fires every available signal just to keep you from collapsing under the sheer physical load. The systemic tax is astronomical. By the time you finish the final rep, your nervous system is completely fried, but the actual localized muscle fibers barely received enough targeted stimulation to trigger new tissue growth. The weight was so heavy that your entire skeletal structure had to brace, compensate, and endure just to survive the movement. At 20, your body bounces back from that systemic drain in hours. Past 60, a max effort heavy press drains your biological battery for days. You feel entirely exhausted. You naturally assume that deep, aching fatigue means you triggered muscle growth. You did not. You are just running on fumes. Drop a comment below and tell me exactly which nagging joint injury you stubbornly push through every single week. The few men who maintain imposing thick muscle into their late 60s figure this biological rulebook out early. They understand that surviving a joint-crushing workout is totally different from actually growing from it. By abandoning the sheer force approach, they avoid the grinding cartilage and chronic inflammation. This creates a massive, immediate social advantage. When an older man avoids permanent gym injury, he moves through the world with a fluid physical autonomy that commands instant respect. Strangers defer to him. Clinging to heavy iron does the exact opposite. The permanent soreness bleeds into your daily life. You stand up from a low chair with a heavy, ragged sigh. You walk with a rigid, guarded spine to protect your aching lower back. That chronic stiffness does not project capability or power. It loudly broadcasts rapid physical decline. And the women watching you read that exhausted recovery the second you step out of the gym. Number 2, how women read your recovery. Men constantly assume we care about the heavy numbers. You think a massive deadlift translates into raw attraction. It doesn't. We don't care if you can pull a small truck off the floor if you wince trying to slide your arm into a winter coat. We read biological vitality. We clock the subtle markers of health without even counting them. First, we hear the breath. That sharp, hissing intake of air when you lower yourself into a restaurant booth. It sounds exactly like a slow leak in a tire. It screams chronic pain. Next, we watch the neck and shoulders. You've spent over 6 decades building a life, gathering sharp instincts and deep experience. We respect that immensely. But right now, you can't simply turn your head backward to check a blind spot. Your entire upper body rotates in one single piece, stiff as a wooden board. We instantly see that guarded, rigid spine. Then, we notice the walk, the heavy lifter shuffle. You move flat-footed. Your hips are locked tight. You brace heavily against the concrete pavement with every single step instead of gliding over it. That grinding joint wear completely destroys your physical presence. It strips away the fluid, pain-free capability that actually commands our attention. This specific physical deterioration is why you need to watch the training mistake killing your gains after 60 when this video ends. Tell me the truth in the comments right now. Do you catch yourself letting out a heavy, pained grunt just standing up from a low sofa? We love thick, imposing muscle on an older man. We really do. But we want it attached to a man who moves like a capable predator, not an injured patient. You tolerate all this daily friction because of a stubborn internal lie. A massive psychological blind spot keeps that bar impossibly heavy. We'll drag that uncomfortable motivation out into the daylight shortly. To get the visual results without the crippling physical tax, you must abandon the brute force approach. The only way to forge that undeniable physical density while keeping your joints completely silent is to stop lifting for your ego and start targeting the specific biological mechanism that forces new tissue to grow. You have to master. Number 3, the lighter weight growth trigger. Let us speak honestly about your physical reality. Your systemic recovery takes significantly longer now. That is just biological math. But the dense, mature muscle you build right now holds much longer too. At your age, you carry tools a younger man simply hasn't earned yet. Profound physical patience, deep body awareness, and the gritty discipline that comes from decades of making mistakes and adjusting fire. Look right here and stay with me. This one is completely worth getting right. Building that imposing frame without destroying your cartilage demands a smarter framework. First, prioritize time under tension over raw load. You trigger the exact same high-threshold growth mechanisms, pushing moderate weight as you do lifting maximums, as long as you take that lighter set to absolute, undeniable muscular failure. Second, ruthlessly audit your movement selection. Stop balancing heavy, awkward dumbbells on unstable joints. Anchor yourself into a stable machine where you can safely drive the target muscle until it completely gives out. Third, protect your central nervous system. 2 highly focused, brutal days of targeted lifting always beat 5 days of sloppy, half-hearted grinding. Here is your exact quick win for this week. Apply the 3-second eccentric rule. When you lower the weight, count 3 slow, painful seconds on the descent. Control the stretch. Force the muscle to fight gravity every single inch of the way down. You will instantly feel a vicious, deep heat you never get from simply tossing heavy iron around. I need a confession in the comments. Are you guilty of stopping a set just because the burning sensation started rather than pushing until the muscle genuinely locked up and failed? Older guys constantly fall into that trap. They trade the risk of heavy weights for the safety of light weights, but they cut corners on the effort. Pushing a lightweight 20 times without actually breaking a sweat just wastes your morning. You must push the muscle to the absolute brink. You possess the physical blueprint now. The biology absolutely works. But before you go all in on that this week, we have to expose the massive roadblock sitting squarely in your way. A psychological anchor keeps pulling you back to those massive dumbbells. And we have to face Number 4, your ego is erasing your physique. Stand on any commercial gym floor on a crowded Monday evening. The harsh overhead lights hum constantly. The thick rubber flooring smells faintly of stale sweat and chalk dust. An older man approaches the heavy rack. He grabs the 80-pound dumbbells. The cold knurling bites into his hands. He knows his rotator cuff will scream tomorrow morning. He knows he won't be able to sleep on his left side for 3 days. He hoists them up anyway, his face turning red with the strain. Why does he do it? Because dropping to lighter weights feels like a public surrender. That is the quiet desperation keeping your barbell impossibly heavy. You cling to massive loads as a pure ego preservation tactic. It is a deeply ingrained, sunk cost fallacy. You spent decades tying your masculine value to the sheer amount of iron you could move. Now you substitute the quick psychological dopamine hit of moving a familiar heavy number for the actual metabolic stress required to build new tissue. You mistake dangerous joint strain for productive muscle work. Those traditional heavy sets completely fail you at this stage in life. If you need the exact biological breakdown of why those old rules betray you, you must watch Build Muscle After 65, the rep range that actually works, not what they tell you, when we finish here. You push that heavy iron because you feel the eyes of the 20-something kids in the room. You refuse to be the old guy holding the 20-pound dumbbells. You demand their respect. But this stubborn pride actively erases the dense, imposing physique you actually want to project outside those walls. You trade permanent, pain-free physical density for a fleeting 10 seconds of validation from strangers who don't even care. I want you to be brutally honest right now in the comments. Do you train to build your body, or do you train to protect your pride? Women see right through the heavy lifting facade. We notice the chronic pain. We clock the daily physical damage. The rarest man in the room is the one who finally drops his ego. He embraces the biological math. That single mental shift completely transforms his physical presence, moving him into an elite tier of older men who understand. Number 5. The architecture of an elite 60-year-old. Dropping the heavy weights isn't a surrender. It's a graduation. It marks the precise moment you stop training like an insecure kid seeking gym floor validation and start training like a man who demands permanent, pain-free physical dominance. Think about the daily reality of this identity shift. You wake up tomorrow morning. You swing your legs over the edge of the mattress. Your feet hit the cold hardwood floor. You stand up, completely straight, and your joints are totally silent. There's no grinding in the knees, no dull, throbbing ache in the lower back. Because you kept your central nervous system fresh by using targeted lighter weights, your body actually had the biological surplus to repair tissue. That lower systemic fatigue allows you to train more frequently, keeping muscle fullness and protein synthesis constantly optimized. You step into the shower, you pull on a tailored shirt. The fabric pulls tight across a dense, thick chest and capable shoulders. You don't have to puff out your chest or brace your core to look imposing. You simply exist, breathing easily, radiating a quiet capability that commands immediate respect from every woman watching. He trades temporary gym numbers for a permanent physical reality. Drop a comment right now and tell me, are you finally ready to trade the cheap applause of the gym floor for undeniable permanent respect out in the real world? This requires an entirely new metric for success. You stop measuring progress by the numbers printed on the side of a dumbbell. You start measuring it by the isolated, localized pump in the muscle belly. You measure it by the fluid, easy way you move through your daily life. We're going to push this identity shift even further. Next time, we'll dissect the biggest lie men over 60 were told about building muscle. Because unlearning the heavyweight trap is only half the biological battle. You need to know exactly how the fitness industry deliberately misled you about your actual capacity for new growth. Building this specific, undeniable physical presence requires abandoning your ego completely, which leaves you facing one final, unavoidable decision regarding what you leave in your gym bag. Take that battered leather lifting belt out and leave it at home. It belongs to an era of training that simply no longer serves you. The entire biological truth comes down to this. You cannot force a mature nervous system to adapt to massive joint-crushing loads. But when you finally drop the ego and take a lighter weight to absolute muscular failure, you build an undeniable physical density that moves without a single wince of pain. You have survived decades of trial and error. You already possess the gritty discipline most men completely lack. Now you just need to align that intense effort with the biological reality of your age. If you want to continue building a rare, imposing frame that women instantly respect, subscribe to the channel. We only deal with the truth about your specific biology here. Your immediate next step is waiting on the screen right now. Click on the rep range that built muscle in your 40s is stealing your gains to fix exactly how you execute those lighter sets. The most compelling men over 60 trade the applause of the gym for a physique that speaks for itself entirely in silence.